What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another Sunday night live stream question and answer session with your favorite self-aware narcissist wife. My wife is coming here shortly. Y'all should be here in a second. But if you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a diagnosed narcissist. My platform is used to raise awareness for narcissistic personality disorder, get more people into therapy, like myself, 4 years, not 8, 4 years strong, and also in the process of doing all of that, validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Skylar Jackson, what's going on, lady? How you doing? Ashley, what's up? Angel Nicole, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? So if you don't know, questions will be put onto the screen like this to answer. Like my homie right here, Skylar Jackson, follows me on all my platforms. One of my biggest supporters. I really truly appreciate you, Skylar, for real. Oh my goodness. And my son, he always wants to send a FaceTime first. Can y'all still hear me? Make sure I'm still here and whatnot. Merry Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas as well. Hope y'all did. San Francisco. We in North Carolina. Candace. My mom's name is Candace with a C though. So just like yours. God's favor. What's going on? How you doing? That's another one of my faves over there. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I'm gonna go ahead and play this while my wife is live. I'm gonna play the Switch. Y'all got some quick questions for me. Love your Hi Lee. I love your shorts. This is my first live. Durham. Who is in Durham? Patrice. I'm in Durham too. I live in Durham. Hey neighbor. Wilmington, North Carolina. I see Wilmington in there too. I'm in Durham. Wilmington, NC. I'm in North Carolina, y'all. I'm in Durham. Indianapolis. My husband said he would give me. Said, hey Lee. My husband said he would give me what I want back as long as I keep the past in the past and not let people know. That sounds like he's just trying to protect his reputation for whatever reason. It doesn't sound like a genuine apology. That just as long as you come back under my terms, as long as we get together on my terms, it'll all be fine. That's what that indicates to me. Not any kind of retribution or any kind of apology, anything like that. Chicago here. Kathleen, what's on everybody? I'm thinking about moving. You think about moving to North Carolina? Well, if you do, I'm a licensed real estate agent. That's my full-time career. I'm a real estate agent. Wilmington, Atlanta. I'll be in ATL. I'll be in Atlanta here pretty soon. I'm about to start traveling. Next year, my plans is to travel a lot more, y'all. I'm going to start traveling a lot more, doing meet and greets and stuff like that. Why do narcissists believe they're superior? Well, I think that's a common misconception that narcissists think that they are superior. They don't think I don't think I'm superior. I just don't like people thinking that they are better than me. You know, I feel like there's a difference. I have this wipe, y'all. I'll make sure my screen is crispy, clean, and stuff like that. I felt like I was a little hazed out right just now. Lexington in the house. I sell houses in Lexington too. So I say I'm a real estate agent. Trinidad, thank you. California, what's on? What's on? Why do narcissists lie so much? Why do you believe the lie so much? Why do you listen to them? If you know they're lying to you and you listen to it and you don't stop it, if you don't hold them accountable, then they're gonna keep lying to you. And I know people are gonna like, well, Lee, how do I hold narcissists accountable? They don't listen to me. The only way you hold somebody accountable is if you have leverage over them. Leverage is the only way you have accountability with somebody. And I don't know what leverage looks like to y'all, but I don't know what leverage looks like to you. You mean you helped me a lot. I may be contacting you for a home in North Carolina. Hey, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I was in the top 100 last year. I was in the top 100 real estate agents in North Carolina last year. Everybody's just like, Lee, you do all this for money. I'm a successful real estate agent. People recognize me for real estate before they recognize me for being a narcissist. Is narcissism hereditary? So this is a question I get all the time right here. Well, I don't believe narcissism is passed down from person to person. I don't think it's hereditary, but I do think it's passed down. Because if you don't stop the generational trauma that creates narcissists, then yes, it can be passed down into your family line. You know what I mean? So I hope that helps. Have you thought about public speaking? You're hilarious. Yeah. What kind of therapies do you recommend for narcissism for both my husband and I? Some psychotherapy for your husband and some psychotherapy for you. And marriage counseling, you can't just one or the other doesn't work, y'all. I'm just letting you know that. You're hilarious. I try, Candy. Yeah, I see more recent studies show that it can be hereditary. but I like to believe it's more passed down for generation to generation through the nobody answering and stopping the trauma. You know what I mean? My ex never hoovered me. Congratulations, you win. But I do get some people on here who want to get hoovered for some reason. You just want like, why didn't I get hoovered? Why didn't he want to suck me back into this terrible situation? Why? You won. Count your blessings that you didn't get hoovered and fall for it. I'll take her. She has to say do her hey thing anyway. Uh-oh. It's the pretty princess. Can you say hello? Where's the baby? See, look. Somebody just literally just, where's the baby? She's usually on the show. Here's the baby. Baby. Bing, bing. Look at that nasty nose. Shelly Hope, appreciate the donation. Thank you for just doing what you do. Keep helping people like us. It's hard, but your videos really help. I appreciate you, Shelly. I really thank you. Thank you so much. I really truly appreciate you. It means a lot. We're just grinding. We're just doing our grind thing over here, y'all. Hoover, yeah. Don't be. Y'all be. Some people be getting mad like you don't get sucked back into the relationship. Like I did not get my Hoover. Where's my Hoover? Where is it? Like it's not coming. Be happy. Be blessed. Because some people they won't stop hoovering you. You be on the other end. You gonna find you another. What you gonna happen is you gonna find another narcissist that won't stop hoovering your ass. And you gonna wish you like, man, I wish I never got hoovered. I had to block him. Yeah, block. Look, the block button helps. Do you feel happy and feel love in your relationship? Yes. I can't speak for your person, but I can speak for me because happiness comes from within, y'all. If he's not happy with himself, he can never ever truly be happy with you. Point blank period. Can you say hello? Look at Smiley Peterson. Say Smiley. Say hello. Say hello. Can you say clap? Do the clap. Clap. Can you do clap? Can you do clap? Say clap. You're not clapping? Oh, clap. She did it clap. Yay! Oh. Y'all got my new chair too. Y'all see, I got a headrest and everything, y'all. Cheeks for days on that little one. I appreciate it, y'all. How do you go no contact when you have children involved? You can't, like most of the times when you have children involved, you can't really go no contact, y'all. You have to go what they call it, low contact. Try to funnel your narcissistic partner or ex into one form of communication. Don't allow them all types of communication with you. Don't let them text, email, call, WhatsApp you, Snapchat you, Instagram you, Facebook you. Don't let them have 9 ways to communicate with you. If you can, just funnel it down to just emails and stuff like that. Just text messages. If they don't hoover, I think it's because they see you as a harder candidate to hoover, which is great. Or they just done. If they don't hoover you win. They might just be done. Can you do the clap? One more clap. She's too happy, y'all. She is not gonna go to sleep no time soon tonight. My wife she's on the way, y'all. I know y'all want to see her. Danielle Land, what's up? You waving? You say, hey, you just clapping you just doing all the clapping now. Whoa. What is hoovering? Hoovering is when they suck you back into the relationship, like a vacuum cleaner. My narcissist is 53 years old and doesn't have social media. What other ways these type of narcissists hoover? They might just pop up at your house. That's what I do, straight to the point. Yes, that's my baby. This is my youngest. This is the youngest of 3. And she's wilding out. My ex has no My ex has no personality of his own. He's too busy asking about the places I took him for his new supply. Wow. Yeah, try to be. That's what I said. They give the next person everything that you want to need. They just do. Don't let them do special favors for you. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's definitely some leverage. All right, y'all. Let me hop out of here. I gotta play the game with my son. You have a non-verbal narcissist? Super. Oh, you rubbing in my eyes? Uh-oh.
There's a bottle at the top.
Are you sleepy? I think she's sleepy.
Fresh bottle. You already know what it is.
Hold on. Why does my narcissistic ex attack my husband for absolutely no reason? Because he's jealous of your husband. Yeah, you know that window don't stick up. Because he's jealous of your husband for replacing him. It's about you. It's not so much so about your husband. It's probably about you. He probably your ex probably thinks your husband clapping your cheeks, and he gets mad too. Oh my God. Probably in his head. He's like, you clapping my old cheeks? I'm angry. I'm angry at you for clapping my old cheeks. Those are my cheeks. Clap, clap. Let's just start clapping.
No, I'm cute like that. Are you a paid actor?
So that does happen.
You just let me know.
So how do I stop attracting narcissists? You're going to attract a lot of people. You got to stop picking narcissists. You pick them. Stop picking narcissists. Why do you pick narcissists? Of your last 2-3 relationships with narcissists, what are the similarities between those people? You know what I mean? You attract a lot of people. You just pick the narcissists because they stand out.
You're really good at advice.
Stop picking the stand. Bless you. Stop picking the stander outers. Yes, clap, clap. The baby said clap, clap. All right, y'all. I'm out. Stop lying. Who's lying? What do I have to lie about? I think I'd be confusing me. Like, if y'all feel like I feel like I only lie to important people. I don't need to lie to you.
Okay.
I hate when people say that. Like, you stop lying. What am I lying about? It's weird. I keep it real, y'all. All right. Let me get out here fucking irritated.
Hey.
My phone.
It's over there. That was a terrible note to end that on.
So what?
Now I have to. Now I have to follow that up. Ooh, hello. What's up, everybody? Gotta get this all situated. For the 2 people that care that I do this, sorry about last week. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't get done. And it wasn't in my calendar. So it didn't get done. All right. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? How was your Christmas or holiday or whatever? Hi. So thank you to the person that said my baby looks like me. She really looks like my grandma. If y'all saw a picture of my grandma as a baby, it's like really crazy. So I gotta adjust this. He's taller than me. Okay. What's up, guys? All right. So I'll do an introduction. Again, this is week 3 of me doing this with 0 training. So, thank you for the ones to tune in and bear with me because, I don't do this like he does every second of the day. So let's see. So last time I missed a bunch of comments, so I'm going to try to keep up with that this time. All right. So yeah, I'm Delaney. I am married to Lee, which y'all know I don't call him that. So I'm going to slip up 1,000 times, but yeah. And I come on here because there's a lot of questions about me coming on, but I often feel like I don't have anything to contribute. So we just kind of chat for an hour and then I hop off and wonder how horrible that went. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. All right. So we're just going to jump right in. Basically, just going to start going through comments. But if you guys want to mix this up and make it random, please feel free. I don't always love talking about this topic. So believe it or not. All right. I'm going to click on this because it's funny. Our 11-month-old is now clearly trained to clap when he says Clapping cheeks. That's great. All right. Let's see. Is this pre-recorded? Yep. All right. All right, we'll dive right in. So, how do you cope with narcissist personality disorder? Like, what are some things you do to help him cope and deal when he's having an outburst? I definitely can read his energy pretty much without him doing anything. We met in 2011. So I've been around him a lot. He doesn't even have to speak before I know like how he's feeling, and so just out of a general courtesy, I give him space, like I've said before, if I have something I need to bring up, but it's not a pressing matter and he's clearly not in the best headspace, I just kind of wait it out a little bit. I think that's a common courtesy in marriage in general, maybe not to the level of dealing with a narcissist, but you kind of give them space. So I can tell if he needs space. I kind of give it to him to a certain extent. Obviously, I don't just like tiptoe around him forever because we have a family to run. But if he's having an outburst, I mean, that's not as common anymore because he is self-aware. So if he starts to fall back into an old habit or a narcissist personality disorder, moment trait, he's able to quickly course correct. So it's more like there's not like a long recovery period where he has an outburst, we go days without speaking or even an hour. I mean, there's not that. It's like if he kind of quickly says something, he like will immediately retract it and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss or I didn't mean to, raise my voice. But, we're not seeing eye to eye on this or whatever. So now it's much easier to deal with it. Of course, I still have PTSD about it. And I still, especially around the holidays, like I get anxious for sure. Cause I'm like, how's this going to go? But I just have to trust the process. And for those of y'all who do know or don't know, I'm long-winded and I get off topic. I have ADHD. So bear with me. All right. I'm not going to just outright say what I call him because the reason he goes by his middle name is, because he does a lot of different things and, we don't want people tracking us down, but it's not that hard to find. So I don't even know why I protect it. I'd just rather not outright say his name for the person that asked, but I'll probably slip up. So stay tuned. Okay, let's see. I mentioned ADHD. How's that impacted? Our personalities definitely, we miss the mark a lot in the way we communicate and the way we receive information. Definitely. So, and I think that, I would have an interesting dynamic with a lot of different personalities just with having ADHD. So not to make excuses, but it's going to be complicated for me anyways. I'm thinking like 200 miles an hour and, I like can't stay on track to save my life. And the way I deliver information to him, he can't receive it. So a lot of times we'll come back and be like, I definitely told you that. And then with him being a narcissist, there's a gaslighting factor. And then with me having ADHD, I'm like, okay, really though? Did I actually say it? So it's been tricky, but I just have really focused on being more self-aware in what I say and how I communicate and conduct myself that way. Like there's no gray area. Like he can't like gaslight me as easily, I guess. Should he try? Okay, so I'm going to click on this one because something sticks out at me. Does being with narcissists eventually make you narcissistic? I think definitely in some ways, if I'm being completely honest. I have definitely, kind of learned how to manipulate situations to play out in my favor, whereas I used to not really think to be able to do that. And I wouldn't say they're even big deals, which also sounds narcissistic, but there's that component. I'm able to kind of like manipulate scenarios a little bit in my favor without malicious intent, of course. But anyways, and then I think that's the main thing I've noticed. And I've told my like close circle about it. I'm like, yeah, honestly, this has kind of made me, this way. But another thing about just being around this person, and having this personality disorder and having to overcome and go through separations and is it's definitely made me a little bit more, not cold, because I still am who I am. I still feel very deeply about things. And I'm an empath, right? Like I wear my emotions on my sleeve sometimes, but that's what's changed is I definitely come off as a lot more cold, and I'm not going to break down in tears as much as I may have used to. So yeah, I mean, it definitely does change you. It takes a toll on you. Like I feel a little bit more reserved than I used to, I mean, some of that could come with just growing and, whatever, just being more mature. But I definitely feel like, I'm a little bit more reserved and stuff like that than I used to be. So yeah, I can definitely see how you take on traits. All right. Okay, I'll go here. So I left on 3 separate occasions, like full move out. For some reason, the second one, the details are escaping me, like for what exactly the reason it was. The first reason was we had our son, who is now 5, and he was a newborn. I had just gone to the gym for the first time. He was like, 6 or 7 weeks or something, maybe even 3 months. I don't know, but very little. And I left and I went to the gym and I came home. And also I had a rough pregnancy, like with him, not the baby, but Lee. I didn't feel super appreciated. I mean, it just wasn't like, it was a very typical, like you're with a narcissist and you're pregnant. Like, I wasn't really, some things went on. Maybe we'll get into it if you guys are interested, but just some things went on and I didn't feel super appreciated. So, had the baby, had this beautiful baby boy, was starting to get back in the gym and went to the gym for the first time, came home and he was screaming. When I walked in the door, he was screaming, crying. And all I saw was Lee, like, slam the door and be like, something about like, get the baby, blah, blah, blah. And he just jarred me. Like I just saw my little baby boy like freaking out. I tried to go out and do something. It just, you can imagine how that just like affects you. So I left that moment and I moved out like almost immediately after, like full move out. Came back because it wasn't the right time, which is what I see with a lot of you guys or people in general with a narcissist. Like you have to go through those motions to build up your like strength. Like you're not going to leave the first time and be gone unless, there are some of those circumstances, but don't beat yourself up if that doesn't work out, like it's very hard. So for whatever reason, I moved back in. And it's our house, like we own it together, blah, blah, blah. And we're married at the time as well. So it wasn't the right time. The reasons I was crying and upset were very like stupid reasons. I was like, oh my God, he's going to sleep with someone else. Like that's when you're not ready, So, second time I like remember the process of moving out, and all these times, like I kind of did it behind his back. Don't really remember what sparked it. But it wasn't good. And then the third time was like April of 2020, COVID. And I completely had it like planned out, months in advance, had a place to go. He left. I knew he was going to be gone like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Hustled, got all my stuff out and moved completely out, set up a whole new apartment, and then text him as I was on the way. Like I'm leaving you or whatever. He tried to call me and then ultimately gave me space. So the reasons I left each time were different, but the last time I left in April 2020, I just was perpetually like unhappy. Like you just get to that point, and some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. Like you look around and you're like, everyone's living fast and you're just stuck. You just get that feeling like you're just watching everyone live their life and go through like hard times, but then like recover. And then you just feel like you're just always in this like rut. And it just wears on you. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. And so that's why I left and how I felt. No real specific reason, just a lot of stuff. And then, we'll get into why I came back. I want to like try to catch up on questions, but I know that'll get asked and it'll get brought up. So, I swear some of these throw me off. read this. Okay. Say to be friends with narcissists after breaking up more than a year because each. Set boundaries for yourself. I don't know. Everyone's situation is different. You're dealing with this personality disorder, but that person is different. Their experiences are different. How they treat you are different. How you receive it is different. Every experience, whether we all like lean on each other for like comfort, there's a lot. So if you are in a situation where it feels like safe and you have a boundary set up and all that, then, I can't say like, no, it's like stay away forever. But if there's a chance you'll get sucked back in and it's not healthy, then obviously I would say, with any friendship or relationship, like don't try to make it work for just because. Okay. Let's see. This is very generic. Like, how do you say strong? Like, I'm not. I overthink all the time. I may come off as strong, but I mean, there's definitely a lot there. So I just have been through a lot, and it doesn't serve me to just constantly be upset or dwell on things. So I guess that's just like a choice I make for myself. But like, there are definitely days where I'm like, I'm going to just be down. So, and it's not because of him or anything in specific. It's how I am. But in general, I just don't want to live my life just perpetually like sad and upset. And, there's different paths that everyone takes, right? Not to get too deep, but like choices connect, right? And that takes you down a different path and you meet different people and blah, blah, blah. So to me, it's like, I'm not just like dealing with the path I've been given. By no means. I know it's all choices, but I know that like, it's not just one path or the other, right? Like this is where I'm on. I've got children. I have friends. I have such a beautiful family and a great network of strong friends and people. And just, I don't know, you know what I mean? I just try to make the best of my situation. Like, and find happiness in it. And thank God, I do feel blessed that he is self-aware. So he continues to work on it. But is it amazing every single second of the day? Absolutely not. And I don't think it would be with any marriage, but obviously the only reason I'm here is because he is self-aware and he consistently works on himself to be better for himself and his family and his kids. Like that's it. If he was still doing the same things, there would not be a YouTube channel. There wouldn't be me talking. I mean, I just wouldn't be here. Right. Like, so that's that. All right. Let's see. Do I regularly call moms because I'm straight? Now I do. Pretty much to an annoying level. Like even tonight when I just like walked in the door, I was like, do you have an attitude? Like, what's going on? And he'll like pop back in and like, sometimes I like to pick at him just because that's how I am. So I'll be like, I'm trying to fight. Like, what's up? Like, obviously I don't want to ever fight in front of our kids. My parents did that growing up. So I'm just like hell bent on that. But I'm definitely quick to be like, are you having a thing? Like he's in front of millions of people saying he's self-aware. So honestly, like it's kind of been a funny, thing, right? Like he can't hide from me, right? Like you're a self-aware narcissist. You're marketed that way to millions of people. If you're having a moment, I'm going to say it, right? Like, whereas I definitely would previously not, and I would just throw back a silent treatment at him early. Like, oh, you're going to be like that? Fine. I'll just go 4 days and not talk to you, which I don't have time like that to waste anymore. Okay. You mean like instead of like a pet name, like when you first start dating, you're like babe or whatever? Yes. And he would do the same thing. Like, and it used to feel weird. Like, oh my God, you just called me my first name. Like, what's wrong? But now, like, I don't know, just being in it for so long. I don't know if that's like because of what we've been through or what, but like, I definitely like, I'll call him his first name and like babe, like, and it's not weird, and kind of the same with him. I think that's just kind of what happens. Like when you like have been with somebody for so long, not with everyone, but for me, it's not that serious. But yeah, before though, I'd be like, say his first name just to like, how it feels. You're like, what? Rude. What does my family think? Okay, so I'm super honest and open I'm like open book to the point of like I say things that it's too much, right? Like So, and I've learned a lot, not even just being with him, but just like in general. I'm like, I'll like go home after like being out and say too much and be like, oh God, like, why did you think you could do that? And so I do tell my family what's going on, my close family, because I don't like to live in pain by myself. I don't know. So I just try to be as honest as possible with them. And I've got some that will just go with whatever I say. And then some that will like check me, like, are you actually happy? Or, you know, like, and those are the people that, you know, I keep around, even if it makes me uncomfortable. So like they just, and basically what I do with those people is I make them get around my husband to, not for him to prove to them. I want him to like rise to the occasion. And I want them to also see how we're interacting from an outsider standpoint and tell me, like, I want people to check me. I don't want to get caught up in, you know, the BS again, ever. So I just, you know, let's address this head on is really how it goes. So that's what my family thinks. There's different people that think different things. The softies are like, whatever you want. But the ones that are tough are like, how's it really going? You know, and they'll come and challenge the situation. Okay. Also, yeah, somebody is like saying, yeah, I was being sarcastic. Like that's my like first language. I hard situation, sad time. I cannot not be sarcastic. It really is unfortunate. I come off as the most insincere person when I really feel so deeply. And I hate that about myself, but it's just how it is. I have a super big heart and I care a lot, that I come off as really insincere and I cannot stop being sarcastic. Literally since I was a kid, it's awful. I try so hard and it's just like who I am. So a lot of this is sarcasm because some of these questions are really insane to me. Okay. So I like this because it's off topic a little bit, but I also am like really bad about going to bed early. So, I mean, I definitely feel like not drinking, you know, stuff like that. You're not going to get a good night's sleep. Having a little bit of a routine. Like for me, I like to shower. I like to be clean before I get in bed, you know, do my like skin care and, ideally not be on your phone, but that's like a crapshoot for me. So, you know, I just like to be cozy. I like my room to be clean, you know. That all helps me be relaxed if you're asking me personally. I know everyone's different. Some people can go to bed with like laundry and stuff everywhere and sleep. I'm like, not to say that everything's perfect. Obviously it's not, but it bothers me. Like I won't sleep as well. Let's see. Can't tolerate people anymore from dealing with narcissists. Yes. I bartended for a couple years before COVID and I just like left. I'm going to do a career change and kind of start my own business. But being in that industry and seeing constant people and personalities, like I could spot a narcissist walking in and I just was like, I can't like, and I would just be way more direct to them because I knew it would just, disarm or unarmor. Instead of just like, you know, like I'm going to get your tip. I'm just going to go along with it. I would definitely just be more like, I'm not effing with you, you know? So I definitely, am still a people pleaser for sure. It pains me when I can't like fix and please all situations, but I have like grown from dealing with it. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this with you, you know? So yes, I do tolerate people, or I can't tolerate people as much as I used to. All right, moving on. Okay, I'm just going to jump into this. So I don't think that I'm like 1 in a million situation. Just to reiterate what I said before, what serves me doesn't serve you. What is, I guess, a safe boundary for me or you might not be for me. I mean, I don't go through any physical abuse ever. And I, you know, there's things that are important to me in my relationship that are worth trying. Like I've said before, because we had a son and because of my circumstances where I come from a divorced home that was just so messy, that does drive me a little bit at that time to, you know, keep trying. And I know it does for a lot of people. You want to keep your family together, but we've never fought. Like a few times there's been a fight in front of our kids, like out of 10 years. We don't like scream and fight and go crazy in front of them. Like they're not around that toxic energy. There's things that are, you know what I mean? Like what goes on at your house and what you want to deal with and what's okay with you is not going to be the same for me and vice versa. So I don't condone constantly just running. Like if you feel like there's, you know, a push in you, I mean, here's the thing. I keep getting comments on TikTok and like, oh, this is dangerous. You're encouraging people to stay. You're giving them hope. And I've tried to preface in other videos, like and I should have done it tonight. I'm not giving anyone advice on how to be with a narcissist because I'm with one that is consistently trying to, you know, work on those traits on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So I'm not encouraging you to stay with a narcissist that's just not trying to be better. And I know, and then additionally, people ask me, how did you get him to change? I didn't ever ask him to change. I didn't insinuate that if he changed, I would come back. You know, he started putting in the work together. We went through marriage or, you know, counseling virtually, which we would have had to do anyways because, you know, of our kid. Like if he would have brought that up and we weren't going to be back together, I still would have been like, yeah, we should probably learn how to communicate together. So like, I didn't make him do any of it. I didn't ask him. I didn't even want him to. I was like, I'm done. So I don't want to encourage anyone to stay. I don't want to give anyone hope to stay. I just have been asked to come on and tell my story and what I go through day to day. And that's just all I'm trying to do. But I really hope it doesn't encourage people. And I'm sure it does. It gives people hope. And that's why I'm reluctant to do this. So yes, I'm going to like more heavily encourage people to leave the situation because there's a lot more dangerous situations out there, I guess is the main thing. I don't know if that was like received well in you guys' end, but you know, I have run and it served me to come back. And so far it's paying off. And is that forever? I don't know. No one knows, right? So that's really how it is for me. I'm just like trying to let you know where I'm at in my life right now. And, you know, that's just how it's going. Okay. On a lighter note, what is a great morning routine for being balanced today? So I saw a suggestion from somebody on TikTok or whatever, a mom who was like, get ready for the day. Even though you're a stay-at-home mom, because stay-at-home moms have a tendency to just like lounge around, like wake up and go whatever. They were like, just get ready for the day, whether it just be like throwing a little bit of makeup, like brush your hair, get yourself like dressed, and it'll just improve. And so I really have tried to make a conscious effort to do that. And it works. Like it'll get me out of the house. Like if I need to run an errand, but then I don't really like feel like it. If I'm ready to go, I'm like, okay, we'll make it work. So to me, that's like my biggest like life changer is just get ready. Like I also try to start my day with going to the gym. I go to like a boot camp type situation. So that's helpful. But if I don't make it because I'm, you know, raising kids and doing all that, then I don't beat myself up, but I do just try to get ready. Okay. I love you for this comment because I literally panic that I have to get on this like bright light, you know, YouTube, whatever stream, but I use random stuff. I would just say like try to invest in a good, like really, really deep hydrating moisturizer. I use one from Lancome and it just like, you just feel it, like your skin just like drinks it up, especially this time of year. So I would say just get like moisturizing and all that means everything. Like the makeup really just, you know, I just slap on whatever, but moisturize, set it with a spray, you know. But thank you. I love that you guys think that because I definitely like, let me slap something on real quick when I'm like, wrestling two kids around. All right, I'm dying down here. He likes it like a sauna in our house. I know that's like the age-old thing where you argue about thermostat, but I cannot this time of year. I've got fans going. I've got this window open down here, like, and he's down here just cooking all the time. I don't get it. All right. I'm just going to start clicking here. So 22 relationship with narc, probably would have stayed if you got help. Yeah. I mean, you know, they're time wasters. That's the thing. I say get out of it because how much time are you willing to waste? Like, I'm not old by any means, but I feel like there's more of a clock on my life than I did 5 years ago, even, you know, like you just cross points in your life where you're like, okay, do I have time for this? Like, you know, and there's a sense of urgency for me that I'm not going to do this forever. I see stories and I hear stories of like, oh yeah, we were, you know, there's some grandparents and, you know, elderly people that are still together because that's just what the norm was. You stay together. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, you know, you just start raising your standards because you're like, this is my one life. I'm not doing this. Like, you know, and I think that's just really where I took a turn as I started to be like, all right, it was cute in my 20s, you know, the drama and the chaos, but now I'm over it. Right. Like, okay. Some of y'all are slick in the comments. It kind of cracks me up. Like I've literally said, you know, I come on here because I get a couple, you know, people that are like, please come on, you know, like y'all be coming on here with the hate comments. It cracks me up. Like, please, I will go back to, you know, doing the stay-at-home mom thing real quick. All right. All right, it's really quick. So also, what time is it? Okay. Deal with manipulations that come with it. I just, you know, I just keep track of what I say and do. Like I'm more self-aware, which serves me anyways. Like I said, I used to just kind of be like, whatever, say this, do that, you know, and have a lot of like regrets in life. Like, oh, you did way too much. You let people in way too fast. You acted this way. Like, so it served me anyways to kind of be like a little bit more in control of myself and not just so like, you know. So that's like mainly what helps me is like, I just keep tabs on myself more and not like constantly, you know, it's not like it doesn't make me neurotic, but I'm definitely just more self-aware, more in control of myself. So I can, you know, be very sure in myself, like, you know, I'm more sure about myself. Is that the way to say that? Self-assured. Okay. Somebody said they're about to start their meds again. Yeah, I, you know, stopped taking my ADHD meds when I was pregnant, obviously, and breastfeeding. And it takes a toll for sure. I mean, obviously you can function-ish without it, but it's such a difference, like, you know, being for some people, for me, it's helpful. Like, and so we just wrapped up the breastfeeding journey. So I was like, all right, let me get back on track here. Also, sidebar, for people that are medicating, you know, with prescribed medication and breastfeeding or whatever, like there's not a lot of research on it. So it does make you feel like a piece of crap when you're like trying to like get your mental health together, but also trying to like just do your best, right? Like, I don't know. To me, I was like, I'm literally not getting out of bed. I can't, I'm in this like ADHD psychosis or what is it? Paralysis. Like you just can't get it together. So, you know, you make good choices for the best choice you can for you and your kids. I just hate that. I would look it up. I'm like, can I take my medicine if I'm breastfeeding, even though I'm supplementing and giving her like an ounce, you know, a day? It's like, don't let the world make you feel like you're a piece of crap when you're just trying to make everything work. Sidebar, that has nothing to do with this. I'm just letting you know because I just went through that. So, all right. Did you two argue in front of his older son in the past? We did not. I think the first argument that sticks out of my head wasn't really an argument. He was just kind of coming down on me about something. And I was like, not in front of, you know, I don't want to do this. Like I got triggered because of my childhood. And my parents, just sidebar, they always argued about money. Everything was money. There was never a fight about anything else that I can think of. Otherwise, everything was great. It was always money. And that comes with its own like issues. But first of all, I was like, we'll never fight about money no matter what, like scream at each other about money and bills, which has literally never happened because it's just not going to. But I additionally, kids don't feel safe when their parents are freaking out and screaming at each other. Me and my brother would like, just like kind of just like retreat and you know, it's just, I know that feeling, and I don't want my kids to ever feel like they have to retreat until it's like a safe time to come out. Ugh, no, I'm not doing that. So anyways, I was triggered. I told him we're not doing this. I didn't have any kids coming into the relationship, so it was definitely a weird dynamic if anyone's ever done that. Like if you're in your early 20s and you know, get with somebody who has a kid and you don't have a kid, plus they're a narcissist, plus there's, you know, slight issues with the mother at the time. It's weird. It's hard because you're like diving into like, do I want to be a mom? Do I act like a mom? Am I supposed to be a stepmom? We're just dating. Like, anyways, so that's that. But I kind of just left the situation, and then brought it up later, like, we're not doing that. So like going forward from that point, I mean, no, you know, like long story short, like, no, I would just, there was more, how do I put this? Y'all know it's hard for me with the older son because he's a child, and there has been a very specific dynamic with that relationship and our relationship. But I also, it's very personal. So I'm really trying not to like say something and then later be like, so basically it's been a complicated dynamic, but no, we don't fight in front of him. We don't make it a point to fight separately. I'm not fighting. I'm not screaming. That's the thing. I'm not screaming with you. So, but no, when we've had arguments and stuff has escalated. Sorry. He hasn't been here. He's been with his mom every single time for the most part. So yeah, that's my long answer to that. Like, I'm not screaming at you in front of kids is really, I mean, I'll leave. I'll literally take the kids and walk right out. Like, okay. Okay. Y'all are asking good questions tonight, honestly. Sometimes I'm like, scroll. Like, these are like, I'm like going 2 down and y'all are asking great questions. So he's stingy with money. He's not a mooch by any means. Like, I have girlfriends that they're with a different type of narcissist where they will just suck the life out of you, mind, body, soul, financial. You know, I know that that's a very specific type and I know them well. He's not like, he wants to be the provider, but that also stems from his own specific childhood, I think. And everyone has their own, you know, paths, right? Like you might be a narcissist, but that doesn't put you in that box with every single person. There's different ways that it comes out of you. So for him, no, he's not a mooch, but he is very stingy with money. He will buy 5 cheap things before he gets the one that's going to work, you know, like, made me pay for everything. No, but like we would definitely split bills down the middle for a very long time. And any like add-ons and stuff, I would just go ahead and pay for myself. Like if I wanted a cable package or whatever, you know, like I was like, instead of going to him, I'll just do it. But he's just like literally Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, super, super stingy. He's gotten a lot better because I think he knows, like, you know, buying the same thing over and over is ridiculous, but he definitely still falls into that trap sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God. Like we have 2 vacuums right now, and that bothers the life out of me because he got a new one without like, you know, picking one. He just kind of saw it and got it at the store. And now like it doesn't work to me as well as our old one. So I'm like, like stuff like that drives me crazy because we now have 2 vacuums when I was really happy to get rid of the old one, but now he brought one that doesn't do lines in the carpet, and I feel like that's not cleaning. Just gonna put that out there. So y'all should start spamming him with vacuum hate and see what he says. Okay. Sorry, I hate these silent parts because I know you guys are just like, what are you reading? But there's like a lot. Okay. I'm just going to start clicking and everyone can just read together. Okay. So when you hear, there you go, make them face their bad vibes, make them freak out, just let you know. Yeah. Yep. That's the cycle. I have a friend who actually might be on this live. She typically like pops in here and there, but her mom's a narcissist, and it's just like, I think later on in life, I realized my stepdad, who pretty much had a big hand in raising us, was definitely a narcissist, but my mom wasn't, like, so I clung to, my mom, right? Because that's my mom. But anyways, so I can't imagine how that plays out when you have a narcissistic parent that you really are like super depending on, like I know it really has like detrimental outcomes because I've seen it, but it is a very different relationship because you need that person, right? So as a child, I know that just like that sets you up for your own issues in adulthood. And it really breaks my heart, like kids are super fragile. And even though they're resilient, like I'm very, very, very hyper aware of like what is causing trauma in my kid's life so that, you just want to set them up for the best. But I know that the reason my husband is a narcissist is because of something that stemmed from childhood, whether it has genetic, strands here and there. Like I get that, but overall, like his experience as a child shaped him to be this way. So like I know that just for a lot of people in different like abuse situations, and it just makes me like crazy, like vigilant about my kids. That was all in one breath. Sorry. I just think back to my childhood and now my mom was just like, yeah, do whatever. And as long as you're honest and as long as you keep in touch, like, and I'm just like, you really just let us kind of do whatever. I'm like, my kid's got the controlling psycho parent. Cause I'm like, I mean, I'm fun. And I'm like, but I'm like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are they? What's their deal? I'm going to look into their background. Like, you're not just going to just be like out here, cause it's bad. I know how it shapes you. Like, so. Again, long-winded, sorry. Okay. Hello, New Zealand. Would love to visit. All right, this one sticks out to me because there was like not a small chapter, honestly, it probably still lingers in me, but there was a chapter in our relationship where he was like super, like, I don't know if you guys know, but he like went through a period where he kind of gained a lot of weight before I met him. And then he did P90X and just got super cut up and just like, lean and amazing. And I, for years was like, I just cannot be attractive enough for this person. Like, and he wouldn't even really say that, but I was just like, he looks so good. I've got to, and I would think I looked like a house. And I think that's body dysmorphia that we all kind of experience as women, some more than others. Cause you look back at pictures and you're like, stop. I knew I was just like massive and weak. And, I just like was at the, I don't even know if I could ever get back to that. Right. It wasn't healthy. So that gave me the realization to not like kill myself to look a certain way. Cause even at that time, it wasn't like, he was like, you look amazing, like I was never getting any of that. So I'm much more easy on myself now. As long as I'm healthy and I'm strong, I'm way more interested in that. Obviously post baby, it's like, you feel like insecure and this and that. But he is, supportive of me going to the gym for sure. I mean, but it's not because it doesn't make me feel like he's like, yeah, you need to go to the gym. Like, what are you doing? Like, I just think he's like, if that makes you happy. And I think he sees a difference in my personality and like, when I like get that out of me in the morning, like go to the gym, but I don't feel pressured is the whole thing. But I have seen this, like you're saying, they like want to sabotage you to not be attractive to other people, I guess is how it goes. And gross. And narcissists are annoying. Am I right? All right, I'll do this one. What's not different that you feel appreciated? I've said it before, but the main thing that he's consistent with is every single day since I've come home, he writes on this like dry erase board that we have in our kitchen something, and it's always different. It's not like, I love you, have a good day. It's like he takes a minute to like really say something that's like unique and different, whether it has to do with like something that's currently going on or just whatever. And I like love reading it every morning. Like I just naturally read it. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's sweet, sometimes, whatever. And so that's like something that really like helps me feel connected with him because we have a lot going on. So I think that's the main answer. I won't go too far into it. I mean, are there times where I feel like I look nice and he doesn't say it? Yeah, sure. Are there times where I feel like I look like a bag of actual shit, and he's like coming up and like hugging on me and I'm like, oh, I'm so gross. I'm like touched out. So like, we miss the mark on each other and the way our love languages, collide here and there. So that's the consistent one, is that he puts a note for me every day. And even if I'm out of town, he'll like write it and take a picture and send it to me. Like it's literally every day, no matter what. And I love that. Okay, let's see. This. Yeah, with my son, it was, no, just not fun. Because, it was my first too. So it was just like, so yeah. Being pregnant with a narcissist partner is not amazing because you're going through a lot of emotional stuff that you need more support. And if you're already not getting it, you're just like, this is a drag. All right. I'll just go ahead and get this one. Okay. Am I truly happy and content with a narcissist? No. Like, I see the comments where like, I bet she's not happy. I bet she's miserable. And I often wonder, why does it matter to you? I guess that's nice that you guys have taken an interest in my happiness, but where are you at when the cameras are off? Like, okay, cool. I'm not here to like convince anyone anything, am I happy day to day, every single day? No, like there are plenty of times like, and my mom was divorced 4 times, that could just be a genetic thing too, where I'm just like, I try to like learn myself and how I'm feeling. And, whether he's a narcissist or not, would I ever feel so content with somebody, right? Like we could go down the rabbit hole of all that, but anyways. So, I've got my own issues with that. Like, feeling I need like constant serotonin boost to just be happy. And like, if it's not amazing and exciting and perfect every day, then I'm like, ugh, what did I do with my life? Did I, like, that's just me. Right. Like, so no, I'm not happy and content with him every second. He gets on my nerves regularly. A lot of people do. So we don't even have to go further. Like, no, I'm not. Is anybody though, like actually so content, happy being married? I'm just genuinely concerned. I'm not even trying to be like facetious or, rhetorical. Like, I see these married people, like we're all on the internet. Like, are they so happy? When you see the ones that are just like, oh, they've really got it all. I'm like, what is their dark spot? I just want to know. So yeah. Okay. Why did I even want to be involved with him? Like in the very first place? I mean, I was like, oh, he is super attractive. The way it actually went down, if you guys even care, it's kind of boring, but Facebook, I was like mutual friends with his friends because I was like in the singles, like, club and whatever scene in like the 2010s and 11s. And I was friends with all his friends on Facebook just from meeting them out. And they would start tagging him and things, and he was just hilarious, as you guys like know. Like he definitely can pepper in some humor to everything. So I was like, God, he is so funny. And I just, at the time, I think I just added him, and I would do this like randomly. Like there was no end game for me. I was like, I'm just gonna add him. He's funny. Like whatever. Maybe I'll just see him out. And then from then on, like he was in my DMs and blah blah blah. So there's a little bit more to that story, but that's generally how it went down. But he would say like, I definitely like, picked him, whatever. I was like, I was just adding you because you were funny and attractive. I had no intention of actually like meeting something. I was loving being single. I I had like come out of a relationship that was really hard to leave. And just on my own, I had, was just doing my thing. I had my little career going. I was like, I'm not being tied down. Anybody who's done those like single years in your 20s, I was like, no one's going to trap me. And then it happened. Okay. Marie, stop. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet when you contribute. I forget you can do that. I'm like, what is this? A little treat. So thank you so much. Okay. Do you go to counseling support groups to vent as well? Do I personally by myself? Okay. I have, like, there was one time before, I don't even know if we had like broken up or separated yet, but I was like, let me go on like narcissists like groups on Facebook. It's kind of like mom groups. Like you learn really quick that's not the move. But I went on this like narcissist support group, and I was like kind of like getting into it and typing and coming. And then somebody that I knew was in there, and I knew her through him. So I was like, there's no safe places out here. So that made me retreat pretty quickly because you kind of live like it's a secret, you're like, oh, I don't want people to know. So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And so from that point, that's when things like kind of got dark in my life. Like I was just kind of living this existence, like not sure what to do. Those are the hardest years when like those of y'all who have left and come back, like the ones where you're like, it makes you physically sick, to think of leaving them. And that's when those years happen. And I wasn't really talking to my family about it and all that. So I guess what my support group now is just my like tight group that I trust. And it's very tiny. I'm not going to like air my story out. Like, it's taxing to like text everybody, like this is the update on my life. And this is how I'm feeling right now. But like my very, very small group, that's my support, whether they have gone through it or not, which actually they all have dealt with a narcissist in very different situations. So, that's helpful. So that's really what works for me. And therapy, I've definitely gone to a lot in my life, and that has helped me and also not helped me in different ways. So I love my tight network of people. I don't like calling them a network. That seems like cold because they're like, this is fam. This is my, I don't know the word. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't know how long I'm supposed to go because I started late. Somebody said, yeah, thank God you don't have any children with narcissists. Whew. Salute to you, because that really changes things up. Because I think people that get caught up with a narcissist, like you think like, I mean, even in general, like, oh, a baby, maybe we can just get like, if we have a baby, it'll connect us and we can figure that out. And like, no one thinks about that baby being 10, 11, 12, 13, an adult. Like somebody in my very close life, has children with a narcissist and divorced, and it was messy. And then now those are grown children still dealing with the dynamic of having a narcissist parent. And like, it's just like, it doesn't end when they're 18 or when you divorce. It's definitely not recommended, right? Like, not just because of my situation. I just mean in general, like it doesn't end ever. Like you have children with this person forever. Like, and even if they're not present, that still is going to bring up its own issues forever, right? Like, so if you don't have a child with one and you're going through, crap with them, like that's not going to help. Double up on the birth control or whatever, like that's a joke, by the way. I don't want to like give anyone medical advice. Don't double up, but you know what I mean? Just definitely that does not help. It adds a very complicated layer and brings in a whole other human that could be affected by it. So don't do that. Okay. This is good. First of all, I feel mom guilt about everything. Let's just put that out there. I have preliminary mom guilt about the Christmas gift. He gave me a night at a 5-star like resort that's semi-local to us. And it's just one night, not even 24 hours. And I already feel like mom guilt. So just to put that out there, I feel mom guilt about everything. But as far as that exposing my kid to it, yeah. I mean, especially like our son, this child is put on this earth to mean well. He has not a malicious bone in his body. My 11-month-old daughter, I don't even think I could say the same about her, but this boy is all things good. And I have become hyper protective of him because he kind of reminds me of my brother as a kid. And if he messes up, it's truly a mistake. Like, it's just that type of kid where they just mean well. And so I get mom guilt thinking that I gave him a parent that is not going to see that in him and come down on him too harshly and mess him up. Like, yes, I feel mom guilt about it. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. It's backwards on the TV or whatever screen. But so yes, and then let me read the rest. You feel kind of split into. Yes, what you just said is exactly how I feel all the time. Even if consistency is there and he is doing a better job to be more emotionally available, and you know, when I see him doing things that I'm like, oh, okay, that's not something he would have done historically or whatever. But I still am always just like one ear to the door, you know, like, I don't know if that'll ever leave. I'm the boy's mom. Like, I want him to feel safe and protected. And like, yeah, so that comes along with having a kid with somebody, whether they're self-aware or not, that's not going to go away. I'm always going to be crazy, like protective of specifically my son. I think like there's just that connection there that I just like, you know, so be warned. Narcissistic personality draining. Let me stop you right there. Is the narcissistic personality disorder or draining? Just by itself, yes. Obviously. Yes. Okay. Even when they're self-aware, have around. I mean, also, yes. Like, it's better. It's more manageable. I'm able to have a functioning life. I mean, but yes, it's draining. I feel like I can't do anything without feeling guilty. I can't, like, you know, the other day I went to my friend's house on a random, like, I'm going to pop in. The kids are asleep. I'm just going to pop over there. We ended up hanging out. We had a couple drinks and I was like, can I just stay here? Like, it's 1 a.m. I'm not trying to drive home. The kids are asleep. I like felt so guilty. I was like, let me send a picture that we're hanging out. Like, he knows her, like, just like feeling like, how could I just be so irresponsible? Like, yes. And like, and then all the time he's like, I don't care. You're fine. Have fun, whatever. Like, I even got up at like 6 a.m. and came back, you know, like, yes, it's draining. And all the while he's like, I don't care. But for me, I'm like, ugh, I don't want this to, you know, come back. And, you know, like, y'all, like, you could be reading this as like, oh, that's no way to live. Good. Read it like that. But I'm also like, I've made this choice. I've chosen happiness in my own, you know, way. And in general, yes, we are happy. And I love that we're creating something, you know, better than I ever thought. The last year and a half of our relationship has been better than the previous math, 8.5, you know, times 5. It wasn't good. And now it's something that I feel like is worth sticking around for, right? Like, but is it draining sometimes? Yes, because that also comes from dealing with past trauma and me having to like kind of let that go, you know, but that comes with trust and I'm not just going to drop my guard, right? Like, so yes, it's draining. Can't say that enough. Yes. You're asking good questions. Is it a Kenya? I'll remember you. You're asking solid questions tonight. Okay. Yes, all the time. Pretty much every day. I can't help myself. Like, like, because it triggers me that he has this channel and this platform if he's not going to live by it, right? So, like, of course I challenge it, like, all the time. It brings me a lot of joy to do so. Like, oh, do you want me to tell your friends, the 1 million friends? Do you want me to tell them that you're doing this? And he knows that I'm like that, so he just keeps it together. But yeah, it's hilarious. I often want to start like a separate channel of me challenging him because that's how much I enjoy doing it. Just so we're clear on that. Okay. How far behind am I? Oh my God, I feel like I'm actually really far behind. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do this one. Where'd it go? Am I passive aggressive? I can be, and I realized recently that I can also, and no one checked me on this, but I think I can also kind of be a martyr, like where you don't want help, but then when you're like busting your butt and then tired, you complain. Isn't that kind of like what a martyr is? I feel like I do that sometimes, and so I'm trying to like correct myself because I absolutely cannot stand when people do that. And I've started to realize that with me. Like the past 2 days, I was like busting my, I don't think you can cuss. I keep getting like canceled if I cuss. Killing myself to try to do, that's probably not better. Working really hard to make Christmas special for the kids and family. And just being like tirelessly cleaning and laundry and just like walking around like, this is so hard. And then he's like, okay, can I help with this? And I'm like, no, forget it. Just, blah. And then later on being like, I'm so tired. No one cares. Like, that's what a martyr is, right? Well, I've been doing it and I'm going to stop. So just want to let that out. If it's not a martyr, what is that? How do you keep clean? How do you keep things cleaned with ADD? Medication. Yeah, I am way behind because we haven't been talking about that for a while. Sorry, guys. What do you find helps when y'all do argue? I don't know. Because I am not a constructive arguer either. Like I get very like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way, which I think is the method you're supposed to use with a narcissist. Like, but that also like enrages them, right? Like you're like infantilizing them or just like whatever. Like, oh, I see you're upset, even though you just said something very horrible and personal about like my family or something. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, but I go there just because I have to. Like, I can't help it. Yeah. So sorry, let me go back. I don't know what helps. I mean, because I'm not really mature about it either. Like I said, I guess I just try to not. Okay. When I can tell he's not going to be able to receive something controversial, I do give it a minute. Like I said, I don't go days or whatever. I don't brush it under the rug like I used to, or just deal with it myself. I do give him a minute if it's not the right time. I would do that anyways with anybody. Like, okay. But if I bring it up and it's not received well, and I can, and even when I push, and whatever, and he's getting moody about it. I mean, I just kind of like, he doesn't blow up like he used to, I guess. So we just kind of like we have words and then maybe bring it up later. I don't know. That's not really helpful, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really helpful with that one. Just trying to like read his energy, approach him at the right time. If it doesn't work out, just if I see it potentially escalating, leave the situation, revisit it. That's not common for everyone. I know that there's a lot more toxic situations that's not that easy. And I definitely want to let you all know that I know that. Okay. Probably can't be on here too much longer. Haven't really heard from him and the kids sound okay. So okay, sorry. Some of these comments. They said about you don't have to. Okay. Yeah. And I don't, that comment on TikTok specifically is just like, how did you change him? What did you do? How did you like, look, I mean, I'm regular, right? Not to discredit myself or like downplay, but I'm just a regular person. I don't have any magical powers. The sooner you realize you can't change them, probably just serves you. And that actually, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing you can do. Like, I still don't think I can change him. Like, and I don't, when I left, there was no, like, if you do this, I'll come back. Like, I left with no intention of coming back. so that's that. And for those that don't know, in previous videos, I've said the full story, but he didn't ever like give me a timeline or push or, we started going to therapy. I liked what we took away from the therapist. He came up with a therapist. I was like, I'm not doing any legwork. If you want to go to therapy, you better come to me with, everything set up. Like, give me the login basically, and I'll pop on. Like, I'm not doing anything. And so, he did. And I liked her, and she really, he gave me a list of 3, and he like said what he liked about them. He like typed up a Word document. I reviewed them, and I picked the one that inevitably I wanted to go to, which I actually did like that because I just didn't want him to like pick any random. So I kind of liked how he did that, but, I liked her. And then we got to a point where I decided, like, if we're going to try, I would prefer to be in the home that we like own together. Like, that's messy as it is. Like, I don't want to keep paying to like not live there. Like, it was going to become expensive. Like, if we're going to try to make this work. So inevitably I was just like, okay, I'll come back in. And we just started trying to like coexist. I don't know. Like, she basically was like, start a new marriage. Like, when you find yourself falling into old habits, like course correct. And so that's what we would do for a long time. We'd be like, oh, you're doing that thing, new marriage. Like, let's not even talk about it. Like, start over. Cause there's like a lot of old baggage with both of us. So that's really that on that. That was long-winded about your power to change, but there was never a point where I was like, okay, if you try, like, he just knows now, like, if you stay consistent and try to be a good person and a good husband and a good dad, then like, I'll stick around. I don't have to like threaten him every day though. Like, I mean, now it's kind of a joke because it's been a year and a half. He's like, all right, I'm going to go. I'll be gone for a couple hours. Like, are you going to move out? Like, now it's kind of funny because like that was definitely my signature move. Like, all right, bye. Comes home to an empty house. Like, I didn't like rob him, but it was just like, I would definitely be like, I'm definitely gone. I'm not coming back. Okay. All right. I guess I got to probably wrap this up. Yeah, girl, me too. Which one do you go to? I won't highlight it, but I'd like to know. Because apparently I can go to any other one, but I never do. Like, anyways, y'all don't care about this. Shouts to you, though. It's like a sisterhood, so I love that. All right, moving on. Do we do fun family activities? We definitely, he like makes more of an emphasis now to do it for sure. There was like plenty of years where I feel like I was definitely the one doing it and just kind of was like fine with it. Like, he's not going to participate. I also definitely default to that even to this day. Like, I'll make plans with me and our kids and already automatically be like, it's optional for you. Like, and I shouldn't do that. That's something, there's plenty of things that I still have to challenge myself to grow and be like, we're doing this and you need to come just like anybody else would with their husband. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to give you an out, like, so. All right. Thank you guys for the love, because last week when it was like I said, like 8:15, I was like, I just said his name. He was like, are you ready to go live? And I looked like a troll. I was like, go live. What? And he was like, yes, Sundays at 8:30. And I was like, it's not in my calendar. And I felt like I like let him down. And I was like, no one cares. And he was like, I don't know. I feel like people do. So when you guys are like, I love when you're on, I'm like, okay, it's in my calendar. Now I'm going to make it a point to not be flaky, which I'm not in general. Like I said, I hate missing things. So when he said it, I was like, I'm not jumping on live right now. Like, so I'm going to make it a point to try to do this because it is fun. I'm at home with like children all day, so it's nice to like talk to adults. I wish I could like stream people in. Can we do that? What are the functions of this? I need IT. All right. I'm going to like try to scroll really quick because I am slow. All right. There's some drama in the chat. I might go back and read this. This is interesting. I'm getting there. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Oh my God, I'm so far behind you guys. There's got to be a more efficient way to do this. Okay. If you didn't have kids together, would you be with your husband today? Who knows, right? Because we didn't have kids till 5 years into our relationship, and we got married first. So there were plenty of times where there was an out, it's all about like what you're ready for in your time. So it's hard to say, like had we not had kids and had I not been able to or whatever, and things kept going the way they were, there's a good chance I would have like got to that point where mentally I was like ready to just be done. Right. And then there wouldn't have been so much of a reason to stick around or have, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think so, but that doesn't mean that we're just like making it work for the kids or whatever, like, if that makes sense. Definitely. And some of his are interesting. And yeah, people are saying like flying monkeys. I've gotten hip to the terms, you guys. I know like the people have been watching me for a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Now I'm learning like gray rock and flying monkeys and all that. Yeah. All that. Flying monkeys and whatever, enabling family or whatever. Like, yeah, that's all definitely a thing. Okay. Not to be cringe, but anybody who's like made a monetary contribution, like I really do appreciate it. I don't like see it pop up, and he'll see it later and he'll be like, you didn't say anything. Like, I can't even begin to like imagine you guys like wanting to contribute anything, to me. I'm like, who am I? But like, it really is so appreciated. So if I miss you, I really feel so bad. Like, I promise you, it keeps me awake at night. So just know that's where I'm at with that. But thank you to everybody who's saying anything nice or what, just like if you're on here, I appreciate you. Like, can't say that enough. But that's what stresses me out. I'm like, okay, let me make sure I get every single thing. Like, I don't know how he does this, honestly, because I know how he does it, right? He's a narcissist. It doesn't keep him awake at night if he misses like a comment. I'm like, must read every single thing. Okay, did we get to the bottom? I think so. Okay, what time is it? Oh, yeah, we probably have like a couple minutes before. All right. Thank you for hopping on. I literally feel like nobody cares. But they do because they asked me to do it. But then I'm like, what do I have to say? Like, I can't help you. That's what I feel like I come on here and say, like, can't help you. Sorry. Let's talk about other things, right? Like, also talking about this every Sunday or, when I'm not in the mood is definitely taxing. But then I get on here and you guys are actually super entertaining. So it's fun. But anybody who like continues to join, ask me random things. It's, keeps it entertaining. All right. Any last pressing issues? Yeah, I'm seeing people saying like you left like multiple times. That's very typical. Like, don't beat yourself up. You're not weak. Like, it's hard for so many different reasons. I'm the type of person that even if you're like a decent, not saying whatever, but I was always like, it was hard for me to break up with people. I mean, that's empath, right? Empathic, whatever. I was always like in relationships much longer than I wanted to be, even as like a teenager with like stupid teenage boyfriends or whatever. Like, I'm the worst at like making decisions in general. So, that adds a little layer of complication to things. Okay. I'm going to hop off. Let me go back down. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are cracking me up. Like, just got here. What did I miss? Let me do a quick recap. I'll just say everything again. Unfortunately, I think he posts these and they're like on the internet forever. Pains me. So you can go back and watch if you want to. I'm fine if you don't, though. Anybody else feel like that? Like being on the internet, like talking candidly, like makes you actually want to die a little bit? Okay. We good? Good night. Good night. Everyone good? Oh, wait. All right, we're good. Okay. I guess I won't talk to you guys till next year. So happy new year. I'll be back next Sunday. Y'all come with some questions. Y'all did good tonight. This was fun. All right. Bye, everybody. Of course, I never know how to end it. So we're just going to hang out here awkwardly until I figured it out. Still not working. There we go.